Hey, good morning, Facebook, and thanks for watching. It's Friday morning, so we're here for Life Inspired, and our guest for Life Inspired today is Will Meyers. Thanks for being here.
So happy to be here.
You're lying. So, just so anybody that's watching for the first time knows what we're doing, I'm just going to tell you guys that if you remember, Life Inspired is all about your life was going along on one path, and something happens, a ... moment, and then God steps in. And I love that you always call yours a trajectory change in your life, because that's exactly what we call it here on Life Inspired. Something happened, God stepped in, turned your trajectory, and now your life is inspired. A lot of people have numerous turning points in their life, but you have some interesting stuff. So tell us about your life before the ... What was going on, you and Megan?
Yeah, so we lived in California.
Right.
Was pretty much raised there. Mom and Dad did a great job raising us. They were both school teachers, just really
Awesome.
dedicated to the education of young children. So I feel very blessed about that.
That's cool.
And met my loving wife in high school.
She's here watching.
Just high school sweethearts. Met in choir.
Oh, cool.
Just journeying through life together through that confusing time of life, you know. And she actually introduced me to a life with God. Anyway, got my job. Was a paramedic out there. Was out there for 8.5 years. We had our son. After talking with each other, we just figured out that California isn't where we want to be. Too expensive. We just wanted a better life.
Okay.
For our son and for ourselves.
Okay.
And so we visited some family friends, came back to Indiana, loved the area, and just so happened that the fire department back here had a job. So we moved back here for what I thought was a position in the fire department.
Which it was at first.
It was at first, but obviously.
But God was doing other stuff.
God obviously had other plans. So living through life with that, moving back here within 5 weeks, which had its ups and downs.
Right.
And found a church that, I got in there. It's like, man, how can this be church? It's a concert every weekend. It's just so big, and there's so many people. How can this be church?
Yeah, this is not God honoring. This is not worship, right?
No. I mean, where's the stained glass? Where's the cross in the auditorium? It just couldn't be church, right?
Right.
So went through a season of life where, I'm not sure. I don't even know what religion to go with. We tried a Catholic church. We tried multiple different churches and just never found what it was. And then one day, our son just was like, hey, Dad, can we go back to that church with the slides?
Yeah.
And
gotta love those slides going down.
A pastor that weekend just like really resonated. And we've been going there ever since. And I don't know, God just worked its way in. My heart was filled with anger at first.
When you decided to go there as a family, your heart was filled with anger?
When we first got there. And then as things change, it's like, what was I thinking?
Right.
But now I know that was not God's doing in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. You had to walk the journey. I think sometimes you just had to walk the journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he steps in. Was that weekend when you came back because your son asked you to go back to the slides? It was that weekend that whatever was said from the message was really touching to you?
So we that resonated with us. We just kept on going. And then one day, I felt an urge, or I don't even know if it was a voice or a feeling or what it was, but the message was clear. You're going to Nicaragua.
You got to take a mission trip. Will.
Yeah, I'm taking a mission trip, and I'm going to Nicaragua. So
And what did Megan say?
So I come home, and I'm like, I'm going to Nicaragua.
She's like, what?
What? So it was just one of those things where it's just like, man, taking that, fully acknowledging, receiving, recognizing, and then responding to just that notion that God wants in your life, and taking the steps to follow through with that, really, really changed that trajectory of my life. Going through the trainings, actually going down there, I definitely came back a changed person.
So your turning point is going on the mission field and seeing what that's like. And you told me a little story about a little 4-year-old girl that was crying because she didn't get her food. Can you share that?
So while we're there, we go to a feeding center, and there are hundreds of kids. And
they're just so hungry, right? There's just not food there.
Some of them walk miles just to get there. And some just really generous people, loving people, just wanting to be there for the kids, just sharing what they have. And sometimes it's not a lot, but just sharing what they have with people that have nothing. And so we got there, we got to watch them worship, got to play with them a little bit. Then it came time to feed them. And feeding them means a big vat of beans, an even bigger vat of rice, and then this 55-gallon tank of pink juice. It has mixture in there that has nutrients in there that help with, just because malnutrition is so bad down there. I mean, to the point where hair that's supposed to be black is orange.
That's so scary.
And so after all this, after we're done serving, and it was utter chaos. I mean, you're talking 100 kids just bombarding this.
Right. There's no orderly lines.
No. Yeah. It's just a mob, and I can remember just standing at the thing, holding this juice, getting it down to the kids, and the kids were bumping into me. It was spilling on them, and it's just like, that's life for them.
Right.
So all this is done. Everybody's starting to clear out, and our team recognizes this girl. I don't know how old she was, but just this girl.
But
little, crying. And I think it was her sisters kind of around her, just, trying to console her. And so several of us are just watching this for a little bit, and, we go up to her. No words are spoken.
Oh, right.
And we quickly realize she didn't get food.
And all the food's gone.
No, there is some food left. I mean, obviously that's God right there.
Wow, right.
These big vats, but we've got hundreds of kids.
Sure.
God's at work. It's not going to run
Right.
out. And we get there, no words are spoken. We realize that she's not had any food. And language barriers. We're talking with the staff there, and we're trying and pleading for them just to give a dish of food. And dishes are what we would consider pieces of trash on the side of the road that are cleaned out with the dirty parasite-infested water. But eventually we do get her to get a dish of this food. And bringing that to her, getting down at her level, looking into her eyes. Again, there was no verbal communication, but it was something powerful. And what that little girl did next was amazing. She took 3 or 5 bites, packed it up, and went home. And their life is that this little dish of food feeds their entire family. And the fact that she was crying over this and just pleading about it, and it was almost like begging for help. And all of us find ourselves in that position in life all the time. And it just takes one person to recognize the need for someone. And our team thought we were just feeding this one girl. And we ended up feeding her entire house. And the fact that she, at such a young age, understands that this is what I have. My family's at home depending on me, even at a young age, for this food. And she walks back. And I can only imagine that she's going back and sharing this with just a house full of family. And just witnessing that changed me.
So you come back from Nicaragua. When was this? How long ago?
Let's hear. That was just a little over a year ago.
And how now you've left the firefighters force and you're working at MC3 now. So
Yeah, I thought God's plan for me was to provide a better life for my family by getting on the fire department, and it served that purpose. A great group of guys there. I love them dearly, but God intervened and really showed me that my purpose, even though I was in EMS and fire department for 16 and a half years, God had a different plan. And much like listening to that call to go to Nicaragua, I was approached, and it was, let's do this. Let's do this for God.
So MC3 stands for Monroe Circle Community Center, the C3, and it's down right by the Four Winds Field.
Yep, right on Western.
And so you guys minister to the people right there at Monroe Circle.
So there's
and more, right?
Yeah, this whole area around the center is just finding themselves in a place of life where systems have kept them down. Sometimes they don't know or understand what life can be, and we're just hopefully being there to care for them. Provide just a smiling face for them when things are bad, and just with everything that we do, we try to keep God in the center of that. That way they understand that identity is such a huge thing with everyone. So that population just identifies themselves as poor and impoverished. Well, some of us identify ourselves being an addict of something, or just struggling with whatever life is giving us. And so we try to just help them we come alongside them, help them understand their identity as a child of God, knowing that they are loved, and that we're all made by God and for His purpose.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Very good. I'm like, I've got tears all in my eyes, and I don't have any tissues to wipe them if they come out. They're coming out. Sorry, guys. Okay. Thanks for sharing. So I know that you could use volunteers at MC3.
Yeah.
So if anybody watching wants to volunteer, messages here. We'll hook you up with Will, and he'll get you down there. You have people read to a child. You have people serve food. What are some of the other volunteer positions you could use at MC3?
Man, so food is like our big thing.
So donations of food?
No, not necessarily donations of food, but like coming in and helping us serve the food.
Okay.
We have great partnerships with several people in the community, the Food Bank, Cultivate Culinary. They're
awesome, right?
I know, right? And the people there are just amazing. And what we love to see is volunteers come in, and kind of like me in the mission field. I went self-serving. Hey, this sounds cool. It's Nicaragua. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna help them. No, they changed me. So even though some people aren't built for like an international mission, this is a local mission. And man, you're welcomed. You can come in and help us serve food. You can show people how God has influenced you, and it has a really big impact on our neighbors.
And it'll change you.
Yeah.
So, all right, Facebook, thanks for watching. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks, Will. If you want to have coffee, I know Will would have coffee with you or whatever, so maybe not coffee, maybe you're not a coffee drinker.
We have open cafe every Tuesday, Thursday.
There you go. So anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.